Hey yo, what up?
What's up, James? How are you?
I'm doing real good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Another week down the drain.
Down the drain.
I get well down, I guess down, just down. Another week down.
Cool. What's been going on this week?
Uh, Not too much. I guess last weekend was pretty productive. I fixed up my car and did a few things I've been meaning to do and kind of putting off. So,
Hmm. What's up with your car?
the AC doesn't work, and that's not ideal in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, that's
It's in
right.
the summer.
Forgot. Forgot where you live.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Caitlin earlier. She's in Arizona right now. She's been in Sedona and now she's in closer to Phoenix, I think. But it's like she said it was like in the low 90s. So
Yeah, it's
that's
worse out there. Arizona's
yeah,
horrible.
horrible.
What's that?
You said horrible.
Yeah, no, Arizona, just the heat out there, it's so much more intense, like even compared to New Mexico.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't get quite as humid here at all, really. So
Is Albuquerque, is there like elevation?
yeah, we're at like 5,000 feet
Oh, you
here.
are?
Yeah, just at our apartment. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
And
yeah.
does it vary? Does it vary even more? Like you said, like at your apartment, you're 5,000 feet. Is there more elevation?
Yeah. Like you can go to the top of the Sandia Mountain.
Uh-huh.
And the peak of that is like I think 11,000 or something like that, or like 10,000. So you can get up there.
Wow. Well, that's crazy, man. I'm like literally looking at the ocean right on my window. So like at sea
Oh,
level.
that's awesome. I'd
Yeah.
prefer that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. Hey, hey, boys club. What up? What's going on, Conrad?
How you doing, guys? I'm watching another Leaf game while in the Dream School chat here, but
Sounds like
Oh
I
a
got the
yeah.
volume on low and I'm paying attention to what you guys are saying.
cool. Sounds like a dream. Max.
It will be if the Leafs can ever get into the third round. It will be. That would be a dream come true.
Heck yeah. Max, I love that camera. Yeah. Mine doesn't do that. What is it?
I don't know. It came with the monitor, so
Oh,
it some sort of Apple thing.
Mm.
what kind of a Mac is it?
Mac Studio.
Mac Studio. What is it
Yeah, it's like
is it a desktop?
it's a desktop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but the monitor is an Apple monitor, and they got like some new camera in there where I go like this, and it followed me around. There's probably a way to turn it off. It really only works in Zoom. I don't know why. Like if I use another uh, uh you know platform like Google Chat, it won't do it, but
Hmm.
for Zoom it does. I mean, maybe it does it for other reasons. There's probably a setting I can play with to make it stop, but I never think about it, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I got a cameraman who just followed me around, you know?
Pretty good.
Woo!
Oh, so what's going on, everybody, in the world of dreams this week? I don't know if anybody saw my post this morning. I didn't really post a whole lot, but um, I this week's been a crazy week because it's I'm packing the house, working, building Dream School, and I decided I was going to quit sugar and caffeine this week. And So it's been a very intense week. Like actually the last 4 or 5 days, I've barely been able to like move. My body has been in distress, to say the least, without sugar and without caffeine. And so as a result, my dreams have been wild. Like I can't even, I mean, I haven't really been very diligent about writing them down, but my dreams and my sleep have been very crazy. That's all I can really say about it. But um, I can definitely
But what do
feel.
you mean by what do you mean by crazy? Like, what kind of turn have your dreams taken in terms of just like maybe more vivid or more adventurous or?
I Yeah, I know the word crazy is the worst, right? It's we use it for
Eh,
everything. They've been kind of chaotic and just kind of hectic, just yeah,
yeah.
those are better words, chaotic and hectic.
Mm.
Um, hard to They're very hard for me to even kind of remember in the morning. Um, I just wake up. You know when you have like a fever, you ever experience like a fever dream? Yeah, it's just been like that.
Yep.
And my body has been going through what it feels like a fever, you know.
Wow.
Letting go of sugar is like a literal detox from a drug. It's
Mm.
It
crazy.
is. It is. Yeah. I remember, going through that kind of unintentionally, living when I started living in China. Uh, and you leave North American food, and you're like, yeah, it's you crave it for a little bit, and then you just get used to it, and then oh my God, you go back to normal stuff, and you're like, oh my God, this is so crazy sweet. What's going on here? Like everything tastes
Mm.
weird. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
good for your body, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I randomly didn't have caffeine at all this week. Like I didn't intend to, but it just like I didn't drink coffee at work all week this week, and like after like and last week too. I remember like I didn't have coffee on Monday, and it was a concerted effort, but I remember after Tuesday, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see how long I can actually do this, and it is tough, but it's better without the coffee for sure. Because coffee makes me crave like nicotine and just smoke in all forms more,
Mm.
personally.
Well, my
Are
my
you?
theory my theory on coffee is that it doesn't give you as good a sleep. It doesn't put you into REM sleep as much. Again, that's from my experience, but like I don't know if
Hmm.
there's like studies to back it or not. But because I remember getting off of coffee, I changed to tea because I was whatever I was drinking 3 or 4 cups a day kind of thing, uh, and it was like I definitely had like better sleep afterward. I was like measuring my sleep at that time with whatever with one of those watches that measures like how deep your sleep is and all kind of stuff. Just because I was
Mm.
curious about it. Yeah, it definitely. But I don't know. Maybe I mean everybody's different for that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Conrad, you learn a lot from that. What'd you say? Your phone had like a sleep app or something like that? Or your
No, like so you can get those those workout watches
like a
where like it
Fitbit
measures
type
your
thing?
steps and all that kind of stuff. Like I would borrow one of my kids one, and wear it, and it would measure like when you went to sleep, how long you slept, and then it would also measure the degrees of sleep. So it would measure, kind of like there's like whatever three kind of stages, but it would measure the your deep sleep, which would technically measure your like rapid eye movement sleep, your REM sleep. Um, And what I discovered is that my family is like they are deep sleepers. My son especially. My son's like record holder, like REM sleep guy. Because usually it's you're like 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Maybe 2 or 3 at two and a half, three at most, and he was like consistently like over four.
Wow.
So so yeah, and that's supposedly when you're getting your dreams, but I don't know if there's real hard evidence that's complete about like that. But yeah, I'm not sure about that.
So what's the device that you're using?
I was using. I'm not using it anymore. It's there's a lot of step trackers that have it measures sleep as well.
Okay.
Um, like there's an iPhone version of it. There's like an iWatch version of that. There's tons of knockoffs. I had one of the knockoff ones. Um, God, I can't even remember the name of it. And
Yeah.
my son was obsessed with it for a while, but now he hasn't been wearing it for a while. Um, but it was really interesting to get. Um, it's interesting to wear it for a little while just to get a kind of gauge of like how long you're sleeping and how much REM sleep you're getting and all that kind of stuff, right? It's obviously not exact, but I think and I'm not sure how it measures. I think it measures the REM sleep with just maybe heartbeat or something like that. Yeah, Leafs scored. There we go. 1-0. And that's awesome. Uh, so I'm not exactly like with the blood pressure, so it is able to measure heart rate. So I guess it just goes by that. Um, and so yeah, I mean, there's several factors that could throw that off. Like I have, for instance, like if you're a really, you know, you're gonna have a really slow heart rate. Um, so yeah, so that might make it seem like you're having a longer deep sleep than you are, but yeah, I think it's a reasonable facsimile of what's going on.
Gotcha. Yeah, cool. That's not something I would even think about, but doing this dream school thing, it might be a really interesting experiment to get some kind of device and start tracking my sleep, more accurately with numbers, rather than just like, from with my experience of dreams. Um, that's really neat. The way I understand it is the deeper the sleep is, it's like that's when you don't dream. Actually, it's you don't dream in deep sleep. You dream in a sleep that's closer to wakefulness. And I don't know if that's REM sleep or not, but I know I feel like I feel like, and from in my experience that's true also, because like if if I drink a lot of water or something before I go to bed, and I have to get up to go to the bathroom multiple times in the night, like I'm closer to being awake, and I always dream more on those nights.
Interesting. Well,
Hmm.
you know what? I think that does sound more correct because it definitely ties in with like anytime I'm having interesting dreams and it's interrupted by the fact that I wake up. And everybody's had that where you're dreaming and you're like, oh my god, I want to know the ending, or like you thought something was going to happen, or you're anticipating something in it, and you're like you wake up. Um, yeah, that sounds right. But I do know the deep sleep, like that rapid eye movement sleep. That's when you actually, that's what you need to like fully heal, rest your body, regenerate. Cell regeneration, all that kind of shit happens, right? So,
Huh. Okay.
um, that's interesting. Yeah. So I never, you know what? I was always, yeah. It's funny. Like I don't know where I got that idea that the deep sleep was when you dream, but it makes way more sense what you're saying.
Well,
Um,
it may be that you dream in deep sleep too. I have no idea. I don't even know if there's any way to
and don't
really find
remember it,
out.
maybe. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I know that when I dream the most if I fall asleep during the day, which happens very seldom, but I pretty much always dream if I fall asleep in the daytime and there's daylight. and if I am like closer to wakefulness, then I dream more. So that's just my
Hmm,
experience. Yeah. Hey, Anne.
interesting.
Hi. Oh, yeah, hi. I need to take my camera cover off.
Oh, it's all good. Just saying hi.
Yeah, no, I wanted to come and it's a busy few days. My daughter's getting married Saturday.
Oh, cool.
I've got
Is
guests.
that she's local, right? She lives near you. They didn't move away, right? Is that
Yeah, she just lives an hour south of me in
oh, it's
St.
really
Pete.
exciting.
Yeah, I'll be doing lots of traveling back and forth. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
kind of a big deal.
Amigo.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Were you guys on the call with when oh, who was it? What was her name?
Ida?
Ina, she
Ina.
was calling. Yeah, right. You know her, Ina, right? She was calling Amy Amigo. This is so cute.
It was.
We were just when y'all just came in, we were all talking about like sleep trackers and if you've ever used them. Uh, I've
No,
never
I haven't.
used them.
I'm looking at a book online right now, Jungian Dream Interpretation. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's a no-brainer. All right, I'm like, this is novice stuff I'm looking at here. You've been at this a while.
Oh
This
no,
is my
no.
first search. I'm like, maybe he's heard of this one. I don't know, but I'm looking at dream books now. Dream Symbolism by Manly P. Hall. Interesting. I might get a copy of this. It's $42 for a freaking paperback, though.
Wow.
I have a
That's not
couple of
bad.
books. I'm gonna go grab them and see what they are.
Which books do you have?
I don't know. I'm gonna go grab. They're by my bedside. Like, in case
Awesome.
I wake up with an interesting dream, but I haven't looked at it in forever. I'm gonna go grab it really quick.
I've tried to read some Jung, but I've never really been able to get into Carl Jung. The books that really grabbed my attention were by this guy. His name's Andrew Holacek, and his first book is called Dream Yoga, and his second book is called Dreams of Light. And they just bam, they just like opened up this entire world for me. But
Hmm.
if you ever have an opportunity to read Andrew Holacek, his books are amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're not too expensive either. Cool.
I'll have to write that down. I'll check.
It's Hoalocek, Holacek. But
Hoalcek. Book about dreams. Okay. I would interesting about pairing yoga with dreams.
well, there's an ancient Tibetan Buddhist practice of dream yoga, and that is what really grabbed my attention in the first place. And dream yoga is basically, um, well, basically, dream yoga is, well, you know, I don't know if you all know not like the meaning of the word yoga is to yoke or to like tie things together, right? And so like physical yoga is meant to like tie your your bodies together, your physical body to your energetic body, your physical body to your, you know, uh, emotional body or whatever. But the dream yoga is meant to tie your waking life to your dream life, and then also, which I found extremely interesting, and I can't wait to get into with people in this group. It's actually they use it in this tradition to bridge your consciousness from waking life to death, which is like whoa, um, because the Tibetans they say that the space that you are in while you're dreaming is very much like the space that you're in when we are between lives, if that's something that you subscribe to. Uh, that's how it's talked about in the tradition. And I just think that that is the most fascinating thing, and what a thing to be able to explore if I am ever able to get to that point. That is like, that's like the fuel for why I do this, because I'd love to be able to, I really want to be able to get there one day in this life or the next.
Well, that makes sense with the astral travel dream things that I used to always have as a teenager.
Hmm.
Or like I was in
How,
space.
yeah. um, I don't know how any of this makes sense, but tell me, tell me how it makes sense for you.
I mean, if it's where you come from, I mean, where do we come from? Like if I mean, I don't know if there's other lives or if we're like, also partially part of like other planets and we're here and we go to other I don't know. It's all there's so many theories. I used to get really deep into all of them until I realized like I'm never really going to truly know the answer. So why until I'm, cross over and then I don't know it as a physical form. So I don't know.
Mhm.
Anyway, in one of these dream books, I just found like an old note with dreams.
Read it, read it.
I have to make sure it's
No,
safe.
no pressure, no pressure. I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to figure out like when this was. Weird.
Well, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I
Well, if
have
any of
this
you,
and this.
wow,
Oh,
This
interesting.
one, as soon as I opened this one, um, like a cousin gave it to me as a gift, which now makes me want to reach out to him and invite him to this group.
well, please do.
That'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
By my
So
bedside, and I haven't even cracked them open in a long time. How funny is that?
someone in town here, she's been kind of interested in what I've yet to get her on a call yet, but she's been interested in what I'm doing. She dropped off a whole stack of books to me a couple of days ago, so uh looking forward to getting into those. You know,
So I also have like this dream journal that,
that one, is that yours?
yeah, looks like I've written in here like a couple of things, but when I look at a lot of like detailed stuff, but then when I look at the
Oh,
last time, I haven't used it very much. I get to the most recent one, and it's 2022.
mm. Wow, interesting. Hmm. I had
You-
a dream. It was shortly after last week's meeting actually, so it's not as fresh. But it was quite remarkable that I was in this house with a group of people, and there was a tree bark creature, and I just remember it it, it had a barky skin, but it was very round and very good feeling about this creature, tree bark creature. I don't remember if it said anything. I think there was some communication going, but I just have to stop there or I'll just start making stuff up. Um, I do remember the feeling of it. So and I can't tell you anything about the house or the other people or what was going on, but I do remember this creature I'd never seen before.
You haven't
Aside
watched
from
Guardians
being,
of the Galaxy lately, have you?
Watch what?
Guardians of the Galaxy? You haven't seen that lately?
No, I've never seen it actually.
Okay. There's a character in there that's a tree character. Anyway, that's why I just asked jokingly, but
Interesting.
no.
you said that it was, good feelings, but is there a more specific emotion, or is it just like I don't know.
Oh gosh. I just It's hard to say much without like where I'm just kind of putting stuff on it, but I just remember Harmony. It was like we were glad to have the creature there. I wish I could remember more. I can't
Mm.
really though.
That's a really cool image.
Yeah.
Do you have a connection with trees, Anne?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just think that it's interesting because where I live, we're losing a lot of our trees because they're so dead and the ground's so dry. And so I resonated with the trees when you talked about them.
Where do you live?
In Canada, in a rural community. And we had a windstorm on Easter Monday, and the amount of trees on the road and that were blown down, it was crazy. So
That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that.
thank you.
what is your if you don't mind sharing, what is your connection to trees? You kind of lit up when
Are you asking me?
Mm,
Or you ask, oh God, I don't know how to describe it. I just love them so much. I mean,
mm,
yeah, the
mm.
energy, how steadfast they are. And, yeah, I have memories going way back with the redwood forest, just visits there. And then I worry about what's happening, what may happen with them now. I mean, I worry about trees, about losing them. But there's just, I don't know how to describe it. There's just something so ancient, so deep about them. So,
They have so much energy. Trees
Mhm.
just have so much energy. I love trees too. In my family, like when we go and if we see a tree that really stands out to us, like we'll stop and my mom will have no shame in just going and hugging the tree. She'll literally hug trees. And so we've all grown up being tree huggers. I remember when my nephew was just a baby and I would walk him around the neighborhood. I stopped at a tree and I put my hand by the tree and he just put his hand right by it and he just like felt the energy and just went, oh, and looked at me and it was like the coolest thing.
Oh, how
Like,
wonderful.
yeah, trees are made like so I get it. I
Yeah.
trees.
Mhm. Yeah. And I miss the trees of the Northwest. I'm in Florida now. And
Mhm.
I mean, I like the trees here too, of course, but I miss the trees of the Northwest.
You told me a little while back, Anne, that you were going to be moving from Florida, but now those plans have changed. Were you planning to move back to California?
It wasn't California, it was Washington State.
Oh, okay. Well, they got trees up there too, beautiful ones.
Yes, yeah. And I lived in that area for about 15 years and I was going to move back, but now my daughter's having a baby
Mm,
and I can't move away.
mm,
And I hope that she and her husband or her soon to be husband will move back there eventually, but that's very hard to predict.
mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, mm. That's a really cool dream. I feel like the you sharing that dream and the energy of the dream just kind of changed the whole energy of the call.
Yeah, that's
It
so
just made it.
interesting. But, I feel bad that I can't remember more, but
Oh no, it's great. I feel very grounded and calm, and it's,
Mm.
before you got on the call, I was just sharing like my dreams this week have been not grounded or calm at all. Um, I'm detoxing from sugar and caffeine this week, and so I've been feeling like feverish and having like fever sleep and fever dreams and stuff. And
oh wow.
yeah, uh, I'm
That's a
not
big endeavor.
sorry.
That's a big endeavor.
Yeah, of course of course I picked now to do that, building this thing and moving house. Oh my God. Another thing on my plate. But it's good though. I mean, if it feels terrible, honestly, it's really hard to do. And I mean, I'm having withdrawals and ugh. And at the same time, like it feels really good to be letting go of this thing that really is been an addiction, right? Sugar, caffeine, and it's been with me for sugar's been around since I was a kid. I've been eating sugar since I was a child, and I've never really gotten so clear on how addictive and how like for lack of a better word, poisonous it is. Um, and coffee, I've been drinking coffee since I was 13 years old,
Oh my
and
gosh.
yeah, right, and I've never lived life without these things, and I'm really kind of excited to let them go and just see what comes of it. Really,
Mm.
just trying to be with the letting go of these things.
Is there a reason you decided to do the two together?
Well, caffeine's not that it doesn't have a grip on me. The reason I drink coffee is because I put sugar and cream in it. Um,
Oh,
so
right.
like
Yeah.
I just noted like one just went with the other, and so um, but I've just been feeling really tired and like unfocused and unmotivated and emotional recently. Well, I say recently, but I mean like forever. And I'm like, I'm just tired of that. I've got stuff to do, and I'm tired of like getting up, like anticipating having a good day and then just not feeling up to it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, and it's the only thing that I can find in my life still that could possibly be causing me feel this way.
How long, how many days ago did you start this? If you know.
Started I quit on Saturday. So Saturday was my last time I ate sugar. So it's been 5 days.
Do you do like any natural sugars like honey? I started drinking coffee with just honey. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
I'm not yet. I'm like totally abstaining. I'm gonna give it maybe another, week or so, before I start, if I even start that. But I really want some like fresh fruit right now, but I haven't even done that. I'm like
Oh
really
wow.
trying to I'm really trying to wean myself off of that that craving for sweetness. And bitter things are really actually a huge help. I don't know if it makes any sense to anybody else, but I collected some uh, what do you call it? Chaga from birch trees. It's like big, like it's like a big root. It's like a big mushroom. It's like a hard. It
Yeah.
looks like coal.
Yeah.
Um, but the chaga, I've been making tea with chaga, and it's really dark and it's really bitter, and it's kind of like coffee, but but it like tastes so good to me, and it's helping a lot.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, And I'm like in the land of birch trees here, so it's pretty easy to find. I want
Yeah.
to go out and if I want, I can always order it off of Amazon, but I
Yeah.
prefer to go out in the woods and find it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. That can't be easy.
No, it's been a tough first 3 days were really tough. Like a couple of days I just said, screw this, I'm going to bed. So I'm happy to have the luxury of being able to say that or do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm. Well, it's been like about 5 or 6 months now. I stopped drinking wine. I mean, it was like a very long-standing habit for me to have wine at night, like with dinner.
mm,
And that was a big deal for me to stop, just stop. And
mm,
but I still, it's not like I say, well, I will never touch it again. Like I'm sure I'll have some wine at the wedding and, for a special occasion, but because I don't want to be quite so rigid about it, but my body has adapted to not having it every day. And now I can tell it was poison seems like a strong word, might be too strong a word, but definitely not good to be doing that every day, just,
mm.
Slow poison.
yeah. And just like robbing me of my evenings in a way where it's kind of fun, but really, I'm not all my pistons are firing, the way they would if I weren't. And then I think it's better. I can just tell it's much better for my body. And I would imagine dreams. Well, I remember Benny saying that he noticed a real difference in his dreams when he gave up gave up marijuana. And I'm just thinking that probably, in drinking wine at night, then a lot of my sleep is just my body trying to detox and process that wine. And now my body doesn't have to do that. Although it has to process, actually, that's sugar. That's in a way, that's a form of giving up sugar too, because that's how the body it treats it as sugar.
Mhm.
So I haven't totally given up sugar, but at least it's not coming, at least I'm not taking it in that way anymore.
Yeah,
But
it depends on the alcohol for the content of sugar. But yeah, if you have really dry wine, like the drier something is, then the less sugar it'll have. But
yeah.
like drier tasting is what I mean. But yeah.
Right, yeah. But it's not easy to break a long-standing habit. It really takes some strength, I think.
I'm sorry, you guys, my alarm keeps going off.
Yeah, I'm on a third day of a water fast, so I'm like
Ooh, that takes some just
super stoked to eat tomorrow.
Cool. Have you done this before?
Yeah. I've done it quite a bit, but I haven't done it in a while, and I just can't wait. I can't stop thinking about food. It's gonna be so good.
Are you breaking your fast with a pizza or?
I've been dreaming of pizza, literally, and daydreaming of pizza. And I made my dough today. I actually got to fold it again in a few minutes, but I'm gonna make another. It's Sunday. It's like a 72-hour dough thing, so I gotta wait a couple days. So I'm gonna eat some other stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not the best way to break a water fast anyway, is dive right,
Yeah,
right into
yeah. Pepperoni
No?
pizza, baby.
Yeah, pepperoni
Oh,
pizza.
and I
Put
gotta
some
show you
watermelon on
some.
it.
I put pineapple on it. I love pineapple on pizza.
Heck yeah. I just For the breaking the fast,
Uh,
put some on the pizza that'll, that's legit, right?
it's not a bad idea. I could experiment with that. No, your dream, Anne, reminded me. My mom made a art of a tree with eyeballs on it,
Oh
so
my
it
God.
kind of reminds me of your dream that you had.
Wow, look at that creature. A tree
Yeah,
creature, I
it's a
mean.
collage,
Very nice.
Max
but
and his
it's
mother
giving me
make
ideas. I think maybe
beautiful
we'll do
art.
a whole series of tree people.
Wow.
Do you have any more of your art there you could show, Max? Like some of the collages that you showed me were they're just beautiful. Who in this group is not an artist, by the way? Amio, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, you're probably an artist, you just don't know it, you know? We got some, these are mostly new ones, but we got some strange images here. We got some, ooh, here's a good one. This one's kind of
You do
cool.
this with your mom?
Yeah, I don't know if you
Uh,
can really see it that well.
yeah, that one's kind of too glossy.
We got
And these are collages that are done like from magazines and stuff, right? Like you usually actually use like glue and
yeah,
scissors.
magazines cut out. Some of it has, like this one's kind of crazy. It's got a bunch of little creatures,
I
or
love
this
them for
one.
dream theme stuff. Um,
Yeah.
they kind of like have a dream feeling to them. They're so wacky, so surreal.
Yeah, they're surreal. I like that's kind of they're very dreamlike for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
And
Thank
Amy,
you. Yeah.
you're a creator now too. I mean, you're creating your school and so you can consider yourself an artist.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
I like using art as a loose term. I feel like a lot of things are an art that aren't considered an art, you know. Like I would consider making a good pizza. That's an art. That's a craft. That's like, you know, that's it doesn't have to necessarily be pens, paper and paint or something.
yeah.
Well, cooking is an art form.
Mhm.
For sure, yeah. And everybody's got to cook almost. I mean, unless you're eating out every day.
Mm.
And now I'm really hungry.
I'm
Yeah.
starving.
I
Was
had a
today?
dream about what'd you say?
No, go for it, Max.
No, I had pizza in my dream, but it was different this time because it was on set. And usually if you're ordering pizza on set, like a film shoot, it usually means you're running late and you're in second meal. So it's kind of got like this. It's cool because I like pizza, but everyone else there's probably bummed because they're not going to go home for another 5 hours.
Mm.
Max, what do you do on sets?
I can do it all. I don't, I'm a writer director, I guess is what I would say. But I haven't been on a set. We got to talk because I know you were an AC for a long time, and I'd love to pick your brain. Film working as an AC and film just seems super intense to me. A lot of high stakes.
Oh yeah, I got a story where I flashed film once and I had to face
Ooh,
the director and tell him it was I'll tell you really quick. It was I was the loader, the film loader, which you have to like run to the truck for those that don't know and go into a dark room and unload the film that is shot on and then put a new roll. Anyway, they were burning through film so fast and it was the terrain that we were on, we were doing a Western. So the trucks from the set was super far. was these 1,000-foot mags running back and forth. There was one of the ACs when he went to reload broke the film, so I had to come back to rethread it in the darkroom. So somehow things got mixed, and when I went to open up the case that was supposed to be empty, not the take up side, because I'm all of a sudden I see a 1,000-foot roll, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my
No.
God, I just opened it up, and I'm looking
Oh no.
like which roll it was, which scene was on it, and it happened to be the scene of like the close up of the guy on the floor dying, and I'm like, oh my
Oh
God,
no.
this is like the most important scene. I'm like, I need to go tell the director that I just flashed this footage.
Wow. That's like
But
my worst nightmare. I would never, you know, I've
I
heard
told
about like that workflow and it just seems like, you know, I wouldn't have be able to do it. Like that's a lot of stress.
I also learned a lot of like the process after I turn in the film, the process of where it goes, the batches of how it goes through all these like batches and processes before they have the picture. So I'm calling the developing house all the time, like, please let me know first, like if I flash it and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
done
yeah.
before you go tell anybody. I'm like, just let me know first. So I'm like following the process. And that ended up luckily just being an edge fog.
Okay,
So
nice.
the
Fix it
director
in post.
called me edge fog for the rest of the movie.
Could have been worse. That's pretty
Oh, it
good.
could have been way worse. Yeah.
Hmm. What is it?
Scary.
AC?
Assistant cameraman
Oh,
or woman
gotcha.
now. Assistant camera. Now they call it like camera assistant, but they still say AC.
Hmm, gotcha.
Yeah, in my dream, I was working on a script, or we were shooting, but I was like, I must have been like writing the script at the last minute, and it was about, um, it was a script. I was working with Elon. Elon was there, Elon Musk, and we were running late, and we were in like the studio, and we were running late, so we're like, what are we gonna do? We got to order pizza for the crew. So we were ordering pizza, and I was really excited about it, but I knew I had to break the bad news and tell everyone we were ordering pizza because that meant we were going to work late.
Yes, it
But
does. That's exactly what that
yeah, it's like bittersweet. But Elon was like, I said like we need a technocrat in our script, just like Elon. And Elon was like, oh, that's a great idea. Bye,
Yeah.
Sean. So I was surprised that he approved of us making fun of him.
Hmm.
So
Then I woke up.
this piece of paper that I found with old dreams, one of them is me on a production set. There's 3 dreams.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's so cool. So we've got the uh, stance dream going here.
Yeah, I was thinking like movies are a lot like dreams, or they
Oh
can
yeah.
be. Because whenever I think of dreams, I think of like the language, like point of view, or, like you had that one post, Denise, about whether you
Dream
are
and
in your
sleep.
dream, you see
Yeah.
it as a point of view or as like a scene in a movie. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of, similarities.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Most of my dreams tend to be like a movie sequence where there's cuts and wides and I'm watching it, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
How
most of
long
mine
were
are
you? How long did you work in film, Denise?
Solid 10 years.
Wow. Wow. Where was
Yeah.
that?
2000 to 2010, I was in Hollywood working
Oh, you
on.
were in Hollywood. Wow.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yep, I've met a lot of famous people.
Did you know Benny and his family before in
No,
Hollywood? No.
no.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see how that would definitely influence your dreams and um, the way that they kind of occur. You know.
Yeah, it's
Gotta
kind of
go.
funny.
Good night.
Gotta go, Ann.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yes. It's nice to be here. I'll see you next
Oh, all right.
or soon.
Um, so are you going to share the dream, Denise, or no?
I can read it to you. I mean, it makes no sense because I'll just read it. It says, I'm in some kind of production set with a bunch of friends. I go into a trailer to use the bathroom because you're always using like trailers for bathrooms. You get over it really quick. Um, there's a window in the bathroom. I go to close it and I look outside and I see a girl I know and we wave to each other and I close it. Then I think the trailer starts moving while I'm in the bathroom and before you know it, we're on the road and in another scene. Then it turns out the set we're on is by a house kind of. Okay, so before this dream, I have another dream written about me being in a swamp with my mom. So now this is referencing that because it says, then it turns out the next set is um is by somebody's house that belongs to this person I know from high school, and it's like on that swampy lake that I was just at with my mom in the previous dream. And I don't know what year this is. This piece of paper doesn't have a year on it, but I think it's really old.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, there's a lot of symbolism in there.
Bathrooms.
The bathrooms, changing scenery, the water, the swamp. Yeah, there's a lot.
A trailer
Window.
moving with you in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
And then like
the
the first one, the one that's like a whole entire page, is kind of surreal just now that I read this. In a nutshell, I'll just tell you kind of what it's about. It's basically my dad's driving in one car and I'm driving in a separate car and he's speeding, of course, like he always does. Um, and I'm behind him and I'm like, oh man, to try and keep up with him, I'm going way too fast. I don't want to go that fast because my dad's a speed demon in real life. Um, so then I see him get pulled over like by Disney cops. And so I'm like passing by, kind of laughing, kind of concerned, but kind of laughing, like, haha. And and then like later, like it talks about like us being frustrated with each other and we want to talk about something and then he doesn't, like, and this is so typical my dad, where he holds everything in and doesn't talk about it. And then by the time I don't know, by the time I want to talk about it, then he doesn't want to talk about it. And it's just like this weird kind of like give and take, pull, push between us. And it's so relevant to what's going on right now with us because of the whole house thing. It's kind of interesting that this just happened. I just happened to read this today after how many years it just came up, and it's like kind of relevant to the same feelings of that.
Wow.
It, it's really weird, really weird.
Yeah, that's
mm,
surreal. That's almost dreamlike in itself, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
so much of our lives is just a repeat
Yeah.
of our dreams and vice versa, and some things just never change. It's kind of crazy. Also, uncanny that you picked that up right now. It's just in a book that you haven't even,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't even
mean,
know was
like
there.
some of the description here, let me just get to the part where I'm like, whoa, hold on. So, so I exited telling my dad how I felt throughout the whole thing because no one else listened. He cuts me off and does not want to talk about it. I get mad, hurt, and frustrated. Suddenly we're in a clothing store, like, and we're looking for something, for an outfit, and then he wants to apologize, trying to get me to tell him my story, but it's too late. I'm mad. I give up and I don't tell him anything. Which is kind of where we're at. We're probably gonna get to, I don't know. And then I woke up, it says. But it's funny because I have been wanting to talk, to him about things and he just doesn't want to hear it. And I'm sure that eventually he's gonna want to come and talk to me about it. And I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Like it's exactly so funny.
Oh, that's super interesting. Were you so the vehicles that you were in, were you both driving cars or what were you? Did you and you had your own car and he had his own car?
Yeah, so it starts off with separate cars, following dad to Disney by myself in my car, mom and dad in the other car, going up the ramp, entering the interstate. Dad guns it, and we have to go like 80. I have to go 80 just to catch up, or I don't know, 80 is not much now that I think about it, but I must have been a young driver. Um, so then that goes into like how I was telling you, like I slow down, then I see him get pulled over, but it's just Disney cops. So he gets a pass. And then like other people start popping up and there's like all this frustration. I don't know. It goes all over the place. But that ending part was like the crucial kind of part that seems to
Hmm.
either be repetitive or I foresaw it years ago. I don't know.
It's
It's
funny. Today I heard that Disney World was closing.
like the California Disney World.
I think Florida. I don't know, which Disney were you going to, Denise?
I live
Oh,
in
Florida
Orlando. So the one here in Florida. I live like 20 minutes from Disney.
closing.
Wow.
Oh,
I haven't heard anything. There's always rumors about that. I don't know.
hmm.
I don't know. It was something my dad, I go, hey, what's going on in the world? My dad goes, oh, Disney World's closing. I'm like, Disney World? Really? All
That'd be
right.
awesome.
Oh,
Oh, I just said that out loud, huh?
I agree.
I'm not a fan of Disney just because, like, eh, eh, I just when I think we're all red pilled enough to know, like,
Yeah.
what really happens, and
Yeah. It's got you know, a vibe.
hmm.
my nephew is 7. He's never been to Disney, and I'm really excited about that. But now, my parents are saying like he needs to experience Disney. Like, come on, he's got to go. I think I talked about this with Benny once. Um, it came up in a chat with Benny, but he's like, well, yeah, it's a thing. Like kids got to see this. Everybody else sees it, and I mean, it's just my nephew. It's not like I have a say in anything, but it's like, hold off, don't do it. Be the one that says you've never been. Come on.
Hmm.
Yeah, my kids have never been to Disney World or Disneyland, and they never will. Yeah,
Perfect.
never, never. There's Canada's Wonderland here in Ontario, where I am. That's you know it's the same thing without all the hype. So
Yeah.
roller
I mean,
coasters and fun rides.
I took my nephew to Universal. That was fun. I mean, I used to work there too, so it's like I worked at that ride. I did this, like I took him on all the rides and
You've done everything.
well, my high school is right across the street from Universal. So when they started building Universal, when we were in high school, we were like the first batch of kids that ever got hired. So I opened Back to the Future
Whoa.
while I was in high school.
Whoa.
It was a fun job.
I worked at an amusement park once for a couple of years. It was Cedar Point, so it's a amusement park. It's not a theme park, but it was fun. I mean, it's a good summer job, you know.
Yeah.
Where's Cedar Point?
It's in Ohio. It's in Sandusky. It's a really nice park, but it's kind of like a nicer Six Flags.
Hmm.
I sold airbrush shirts.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely it's I don't know, it's fun, but it's you know, it's sweaty. There's a lot of loud tourists and you know, it's a long day for sure. A lot of traffic, but it's fun.
Cool.
Certainly not as cool as Universal Studios, but or like Florida parks, they do it right, I guess. But small town version.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, but that one's well known. That's a well-known park. It's got some of the best roller coasters.
Oh yeah. Tallest, fastest at one
Yeah.
time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I went to Disney once just when I was a kid, one time, and that's it. I don't even barely remember it. Hmm. And
What choirs at Disney once?
your choir sang?
Yeah, they did it every year. We go to Disney World, or not every other year or something, and it was, you know, you got to go along and you sing, but you get to hang out at the park. So it's like a fun thing to do as a high school kid.
Hmm. Cool. Yeah.
But the bus driver fell asleep on the way there, and so it got kind of intense at a certain point because he couldn't. I don't know, when it was weird. They picked him up. We and it was should have been obvious he shouldn't have been driving, but we pick him up at a bar because it's the only thing open at 3 in the morning because they were trading drivers and then so the old driver got out and the new one came in and everything we thought was fine, but I remember waking up and being like, what's going on? Because the bus like bumped a car or something on in the parking lot. There was only like one car in the parking lot and it backed into it, so the bumper fell off and they had to like tie it back on. And then yeah, I woke up later that morning and we're like swerving and then our teacher was talking to the driver trying to keep him awake and on the
Oh,
road.
Oh my
So that's
God.
one memory of Disney for sure.
wow.
Epic road trip.
Hold on. So he fell asleep while he was driving, or he just fell asleep and he was, oh
No,
my
we
God.
picked him up at a bar, so I'm assuming he was already drunk. But then it was daylight out when I woke up and we were swerving, like big time swerving. So, and then other people started waking up and the teacher talked to him and eventually enough people were like, "Hey, I think he's drunk or something." And I don't know, they somehow he was able to stay the driver for the rest of the trip.
This sounds like a crazy dream. I can't believe that's real.
It,
Life is but a dream, man.
yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, Max, you know, that experience sounds like a dream. And Denise, your dream sounds like it might be more like a dynamic between you and your dad that you were kind of experiencing in your dreams.
Yeah, there's always been a dynamic, I guess.
Yeah. How old do you think you were about when you did that when you wrote that dream? I mean, is there any indication in the dream of like when that was?
Um,
To me, that suggests that it was probably you were probably in your like early to mid 20s.
mid-20s probably, because yeah, early to mid-20s makes sense because this is obviously production is already a thing here, so I was already doing production. I do have a random note down here about Anna Miley, who is I she passed away. She was a friend that from high school, and she passed away. And so if she came up in a dream, it must have been after her passing. And I think she passed like in 2004 or 5. When did she pass away?
Mm,
Probably like 2004. I don't know.
yeah. Okay. Well, it's that'd be an interesting one to dig into. They're all, I mean, I want to dig into them all, so
Yeah, I'm not curious now when she passed.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, how's everybody feeling?
Woo. I'm a little peckish. I want food, but otherwise, I'm hanging in there.
Gotcha. One more day, Max, like one more night, one more sleep.
Yeah,
What
just
what
a
are you
few
gonna
dreams.
break what are you gonna break your fast on?
I'll have a shake, a little protein shake.
Hmm.
Yeah, put lots of good stuff in it. Some fruit, coconut milk, chocolate, ooh,
Ooh.
peanut.
Stop it. Hmm. Yeah, I think, once the sugar thing is over, I'm gonna start doing like regular fasts. Um, I might do an intermittent fast, but I'm thinking like I might go like one day of food, like one day eat and then go an entire day, like a 24-hour period or longer. Um, I know that's weird, or I don't know if it's weird or not. It was just unusual. Um, so I think fasting is it's a really good thing.
Is it messing with your dreams?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, me or Max?
James, yeah, like the fasting. Well, yeah, both of you. Obviously, you're dreaming about pizza and stuff, but
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, I guess yeah, it was I don't know, the first day was normal. The second day I had trouble sleeping, and I feel like the second day of my 3-day fast is usually, and I should remember this, but if I have too much caffeine, I have trouble sleeping. And for some reason I never learn, but I always overcompensate because I'm so weak. I want to get stuff done. So I have more coffee, but then I can't sleep very well. So then I did fall asleep, but it was kind of a rough night of sleep. And so I had that weird dream about Elon. And today I had less coffee. So I'm hoping I'll have another good dream, but I don't
mm.
know. I don't remember what happened the night before.
interesting. So you still drink coffee when you're fasting?
Yeah, I'm not a purist. I don't do a water only. I've done a bunch of different types. But I like doing coffee in the morning, and then I'll have like mostly water throughout the day. But the first half of the day, I'm drinking a couple cups of coffee for sure. It helps.
Gotcha.
Definitely helps.
I've tried fasting before, and I know I read that like if you have black coffee with no sugar, no cream or milk, that it still technically counts as fasting. But I don't know, maybe there's varying degrees of strictness. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know that Dave Asprey guy talks about how coffee actually boosts your autophagy or something.
Yeah.
And so it helps supposedly, and I do like it, and it does seem like it helps. So uh, I run with it. I don't know if I want to do it without water, but that's something to consider. Or I mean, without coffee, but because I like coffee.
Mm. Uh, my
So
dreams, Denise, just
what?
chaotic, and as it might have been like chaotic, and I'm looking forward to when they sort of stabilize after this big. I've been having a lot more dreams, but I don't really remember them so well, and my sleep has been waking up like 3 or 4 in the night and getting up to the bathroom or whatever, and go back to sleep. Very restless. So, um, and like I think, so I'm having those feverish dreams, you know. Um, but I'm on day 4 now, and I think I'm hoping tonight will be a nice, stable kind of thing. So, yeah,
Remember
yeah,
to
it's
do
a
So
gratitude then before you go to sleep. That'll help you sleep.
great reminder. You know, I used to do, like every single day. I had a journal for gratitude, and it's like I loved doing, and should really kind of get back into that. It makes such a big difference. Yeah.
Hmm.
So really quick to come back to some dreams, like I've been trying to remember dreams for the last like week or two. Sorry, I missed last week. I met up with some friends for happy hour and we ended up drinking wine for like 5 hours. So totally
No
messed
apologies needed. That's great.
up. Um, no, but lately, like, trying to remember dreams, I'm noticing that it's like this kind of weird state of I guess it's a dream, but it feels like it's a state of thought. But then when an alarm goes off or something triggers, that I'm up, all of a sudden I'm like, what was I thinking about? Oh, that was actually a dream. I was dreaming. I wasn't just thinking. And so I recognize that I was just dreaming. So then it's almost like I have to remember. It's almost like, when you go into a room and you want to go something and you get to the room and you don't remember what it is and you're like, I don't remember what I came in here for. That's like the feeling in the morning when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I was just dreaming. What was it? Like I just walked into a room and I can't remember what it is. And then like sometimes it kind of comes back a little bit and sometimes it doesn't. But
mhm.
at least I'm trying to get back to like acknowledging that I am dreaming. And then sometimes I do kind of remember and I'm like, oh yeah, it's stupid. It's just like day-to-day stuff that I'm like it feels repetitive. It's nothing interesting. So I just move on and don't bother remembering. So that's what I've noticed in the last like week or so. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody.
Sorry,
It
the
it
audio.
does to me. Yeah.
Yeah, for
I,
sure.
I, I was just going to chime in. I I only have one dream that I can half remember the last week, and it was exactly like you just described. Like I just have this one little snippet of I'm walking on a dark street, almost like a film noir thing with the lamp overhead, and I pass by this older guy. I think I know him, but he seems familiar, but I never saw his face. And then this guy comes out of nowhere and tries to rob him. He had a gun, and as he was like bringing it out, I grabbed his arm quickly and just whatever I did my old security thing and basically threw him down and took the gun away. And then he ran off, and the gun was lying there. And the part I was like trying to struggle with was like, did I pick up the gun or did I kick it away? I couldn't remember. and then it faded after that. I think I either walked away or I did something else, but can't remember. But yeah, that's that was the snippet of a dream that I remembered. So nice little action snippet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're struggling with remembering, Denise. The audio cut out for you for me for some reason.
Um, no, it's like I'm acknowledging that I actually did dream. It felt like it was a thought process, but then like I wake up with an actual thought process,
Hmm.
and then I go back and I'm like, "Oh wait, I think I had a dream because something like shifted gears." Like I'm acknowledging like there's like a shift or something. Um, so then like I try to remember what it is, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but it's that feeling of like walking into a room like you want to go get something and you can't remember what you went in there for.
Yes. Yeah.
And then sometimes you remember and sometimes you don't. That's like the best analogy to like the remembering of the dreams has been. And when I do kind of remember what it is, it's just like random scenarios that seem like the normal day to day right now, nothing really interesting, like worth even noting. So I
Hmm.
don't.
That stops me a lot of times from recording my dreams, because they seem to be just so like, oh, whatever, it's just like day-to-day stuff. But I if your goal is to remember more and to like have them be more vivid and whatever, you really have to write it down. Like you really have to record it, even if it is
Yeah.
just mundane stuff. And that the same goes for you, Conrad. Like if you can't remember a detail, like yeah, record it. Even if what you're writing is I don't remember anything, it really does like send a message to your subconscious to pay attention, a little closer attention next time. And it works every time. If that's your goal, which I assume it is.
Yeah, no, I'll try that. It makes sense that like writing it out would it like it like with everything, it makes you remember things better, right? So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Well, all right, everybody, we've been on the call for a long time. I'm gonna call it. Thanks everybody for coming. It's been a really cool call. You never know what to expect, and this was really fun. So
Yeah, it's great getting to know everybody, like even on another level, just because we're talking, dreams can be so intimate that
Yeah, yeah.
like this is, yeah. So thank you
yes,
for sharing your space.
yeah, it's been a great way to get to know everybody a little bit, a little bit more and a little bit in a different sort of dimension, not necessarily through dreams, like through our loves of pizza and our shared love
And
of
our hate for Disney.
tree hugging and our hate for Disney. Yeah, cool.
And,
Well,
and, and appreciating the longer length. I'm assuming that's because you got the subscription, James.
yeah, I just bit the bullet.
The length of the video. Yeah,
Yeah, and paid for the Zoom. So yeah,
Totally worth
yeah,
it.
yeah, I agree. Um, cool. Well, I'm glad everybody's enjoying this, and yeah, I look
yeah.
forward to seeing everybody in the group this week, and yeah, and to hearing more dreams. And, yeah, and Max, I'll see you on Saturday, and Amy, we're gonna chat like right after for a minute. Yeah, cool. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much. Have a great
Bye,
week.
everybody.
Sweet
Thank
dreams.
you.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.